There are lots of things I've learned so far as I continue along my journey of pursuing an acting career, like the importance of detaching yourself from wanting certain results or a certain outcome, which is definitely easier said than done. The importance of knowing yourself and what works for you, because you will definitely hear a lot of conflicting opinions and advice from various industry professionals. Also, just how crucial it is to have people in your life who support you and want to see you win. And those are just a tiny sample of all of the things I've learned so far. Now, we all know the basic ingredients to success, like hard work, discipline, consistency. However, here are, in my personal opinion, the top two most important things I've learned about trying to become a working actor and trying to achieve some success in this industry. Number one, it's a mental game. Yes, you obviously need to know how to act, you need to practice, train, network, have all of your materials in order, blah, blah, blah. But once you have those things in place where, let's say you've signed up for your weekly classes, you have your headshots done, you have an agent, then I would say like 90% of it becomes mental and about what your mindset is like. I feel like everything in life is a mental game. Whether you want to be a professional athlete, a YouTuber, an entrepreneur, whatever goes on in between here, in between your ears, will ultimately dictate whether or not you can achieve your goals and overcome whatever obstacles you might face. I think it's important to not let your emotions define you because they are constantly changing. They're fleeting, right? And while it's important to allow yourself to feel your emotions and experience them, you cannot let them take over you and ultimately control you, because that's when you start losing perspective on what's actually going on in a situation. At least that's what I've personally found. And it's the same thing with your thoughts, right? You are not your thoughts unless you choose to internalize them. If you think about it, we're constantly choosing every day what thoughts we let go and what thoughts we want to hold on to, essentially, or pay attention to and obsess over. So, for example, like you have a bad audition. Are you the actor that says, all right, I was having an off day, and even though in this moment I'm feeling really negative, whether that's frustration or disappointment or whatever, it's okay, I'm gonna allow myself to feel these emotions for a certain short period of time. I know that I'm still a good actor and I'm gonna continue to do the work and I'm gonna continue to put my best foot forward and maybe be even more prepared for my next audition. And I'll book the job that's meant for me. Are you that actor? Or are you the actor that says, see,
I always screw up. I'm not good at auditioning. What's the point? I never book. Auditions are stupid.
And if, let's say, you've been struggling with a self-tape, maybe there's been some technical aspects you've been struggling with, do you say, oh, well, I'm better in the room anyway? When I've spiraled after not booking something that I've really wanted to book, and this is something that I still struggle with today, my go-to thought has been, it's always someone else. As in, it's always someone else who gets the role. It's never me. Which is absolutely not true, by the way, because I've definitely booked jobs and I've definitely gotten roles that I've wanted to get. So this is what I mean about losing a rational perspective on what's actually going on, what the situation really is. I mean, what an absolutely terrible habit to form, and like a counterproductive, ridiculous, stupid thing to allow myself to basically repeat to myself so that I can now internalize all of that for my future self to believe. I mean, it's crazy, right? So if you can befriend your brain rather than allow it to be your own worst enemy, then I think not only will your chances of success dramatically increase, but you will also have the ability to find joy in your journey. It becomes possible to find joy throughout this crazy acting journey or whatever journey you happen to be on. And number 2, the importance of having a full life outside of your dreams, outside of being an actor. When you hold on to something so tight, like your love for acting, for example, you're essentially loving it to death. And when you love something to death, you squeeze all of that desire, passion, and love out of the very thing that you so desperately want. And doing this will inevitably lead to a negative outcome. We all know this. You need to let your dreams breathe like
A fine bottle of wine.
I don't know. You get the point, right? Something that I've come to realize is that you need to create a life where you are absolutely content outside of your goals, achievements, and dreams, because getting those things will not result in your happiness. Having wonderful, meaningful relationships, focusing on something outside of yourself, like maybe volunteering or helping others, experience all of the other things that life has to offer is way more likely to make you happy in the long term. You will also become a better actor for it. You will be a more interesting, well-rounded individual when you approach your acting work because you have a full life. And I also feel like you are less likely to tie your self-worth and ability to get a job, get a role, because your life will be multifaceted and you have all of these other positive, amazing things going on in your life. So go to the wedding, book the vacation, go have a night out with your friends. I promise you will come back feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, motivated to dive back into your work. And with acting, there are so many things outside of your control. So often you're betting on someone else to pick you or give you a job. And this industry is fickle and it does not care about your feelings because at the end of the day, it is a business. So just remember, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Progress and results in your acting career often happen a lot slower than what you anticipate it will be. And having a full life allows you to enjoy the journey a lot more because you're not like hyper fixated on needing a certain outcome to happen with your acting and in one aspect of your life, essentially. I think it also allows you to let go of some of that desperate energy and avoid burnout, as well as like ending up being jaded or resentful. If your life is just acting, every rejection and every little setback will seem like the whole world is collapsing on you. So trust me, I have personal experience with this. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video if this is the type of content that you enjoy. And until next time, bye.